This has been the most incredible career ride of my life.
But people sell this like, it's so easy, get in, make millions of dollars. If I can do this, you can do this. Like you said, not everybody's a CEO.
Welcome to the I Decide Darlings podcast. I'm Erin.
And I'm Lisa. We are moms, wives, best friends, entrepreneurs, and authors of the book, I Decide, the happy little guide to living your best life. Pull up a chair, grab a glass of wine, and get ready to talk all things health, success, loss, money, family, and everything in between. These two besties won't leave anything off the table.
So get ready to laugh, cry, hear the tips, tools, and stories to give you the success you crave, the life you adore, and the future you deserve. You are listening to the I Decide podcast.
Welcome back. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the I Decide Darlings podcast. I am Erin Lopez.
And I am Lisa Cox. And holy cow, my friend, have I missed you. Oh. This has been a crazy time. Erin was involved or right in the center of the Houston hurricane. And I mean, after 18 days, right, Erin, you just got your internet back.
It has been a whirlwind. It's been a month. I'm not going to lie. But yes, I'm back. I'm excited. I've missed you so much. I've just missed all of this. I mean, it has been, I don't even have the right word for it. It's been a month. Let's just say that. An apocalyptic month is what I like to say.
Well, tell us what it's like. I've never lived in a hurricane area. Mm-hmm. I do get tornadoes here, of course. And I lived in California with earthquakes, but tell us what happens. Like, when you have no power and no water and you have two teenage daughters and a husband, tell us what it was like.
Yeah. I mean, put all those things together and it's like even more so. But I mean, we've had hurricanes. We haven't lived in Houston during the big ones like Ike and I don't even know the other names of them, but we did live here during Harvey. And Harvey, I know you remember, like Harvey was terrible because of the flooding and it was insane. Like we had like speedboats driving down the streets like by us. That was insane. However, we lost power for like a day. So, this time was different because, I mean, not to give too much information because I am not a meteorologist, but Houston was not prepared for this hurricane because it quickly turned when it hit land. And the eye of the storm really came right over Houston, which they were not expecting. So we lost power real quickly, like the second it hit. Wow. And we didn't get it back for a lot of people. Well, everyone was different. But I mean, the entire city, 4 million people lost power. And like when I say lose power, like, we've all been in the whole like, oh, I lost power, but like my neighbor has it, or down the street, or like, oh, just run to the grocery store. No. The entire city of Houston did not have power. So it was, like I said, it was apocalyptic. That's the only word I can describe because our Wi-Fi and our cell coverage went down. So not only did we not have power and electricity and everything, you couldn't use your phone. You couldn't connect to the internet. Like, usually when you have a storm, even like when we lived in Missouri, you're watching it on your phone. Like, yes. Are we okay? Couldn't do that. So it was bizarre. It was bizarre. Like you would drive down the street at night, no street lights, nothing open, like no CVS, no gas station. Very few gas stations had gas and you'd wait in line for a good hour to make sure you had gasoline. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So what did you eat?
So that's a good question.
That's what I worry about first, Erin, is food.
So, I mean, we had just gotten back from Florida the day before everything happened. So I did go to the store, I got water, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think I Googled like what to buy for a hurricane. Mm-hmm. I bought like stuff we don't even normally eat, which didn't really work out, like cereal and granola bars and stuff. I don't know. Like it didn't, we ate like what was in the pantry. And I was super neurotic about don't open the fridge, don't open the freezer. Because we didn't know. It could have been a day. It could have been 10 days. Yeah. So we did bite the bullet And you kind of got to the point of like, okay, I'm going to lose all my food, everything, which, you know, could be $500, $1,000.
Yep.
Or like trucks were coming in of generators and there was lines to get generators. You know, Tony went and got a generator because I'm like, we either spend the money on buying all new groceries or we buy generators. So we ended up buying a generator, connected it into the refrigerators. So after a couple of days, we had access to like our fridge. So we could eat.
So for the record, friends, I begged them to get in their car and drive to Missouri and stay with me, but you can't leave your houses, right? I mean, that would be a dangerous situation. Is it mostly dangerous because, not necessarily because of looters, or is that a problem as well? Or is it mostly because when the power comes on, there could be issues like a surge? Or why didn't people want to leave?
All of the above. So we did have a lot of friends that left, or a lot of them, like I had girlfriends that like they left with the kids and they went to like their families and their husbands stayed back or whatever. You know, there's just that nervousness of like what's going to happen to the house, and your alarm doesn't work because there's no power. You know, and we went from everyone was lovely and oh my gosh, what happened? And like meaning around us. And it real quickly turned after a couple of days. People were hot and getting angry because we weren't getting any word from our energy company when we would get our energy back on. Like they would not tell us when the electricity was coming on. Or you'd get one saying, we'll let you know by noon. Oh, it'll be in 5 days. I mean, like people were just getting like doomsday after doomsday. So it kind of went from like, and it was so dark, your natural reaction at night was like, I hope nobody breaks in, you know? And I would like to think that people wouldn't have taken advantage of that, but you know, people are people. So yeah. And I think just what happened and the generator, you can't leave a generator.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So it was crazy. It was insane, you know, throw in a couple of teenagers and a doodle and it was even crazier because we started out like probably the rest of Houston. Like we read books, we played board games by candlelight. You know, we were like perfectly perfect. You know, I mean, we all did facials, you know, I mean, we made the best of it. And then after a couple of days, we were like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm sweating in places. I don't even want to see you right now. Get in the car, go drive around. Like, you know, so throw that in. And then, you know, your poor pets. I mean, our poor pet, we put her in the car every chance we got. But, you know, she'd just sit there. And finally, when we plugged in fans, I'm going to put some videos out because I've got some crazy videos. But our dog, our sweet Maggie, would just lay in front of the fan. And, you know, you have the same dog. And her hair was just like,
sweet Maggie.
Yeah.
Oh, my
but
gosh.
Here's the other thing that I learned. The world goes on, right? Like, that's what's crazy. Like, the world goes on. I mean, we know it was on the news because it was catastrophic.
Yeah.
We were very blessed. We're healthy. We're happy. We're fine. A lot of people had much worse situations than us. So we're happy and healthy. And day 2, day 3, like the world moves on, you know, like there's a bigger news story. There's a bigger, you know, so it was crazy. And I know I had a lot of guilt because, you know, I wasn't so prepared for the storm. I will be next time, coming soon. I wasn't super prepared. I couldn't get in touch with you. I couldn't get in touch with work people. You know, there's that guilt as a mom. And I think as a woman that it really kind of took over of like, I couldn't fix the problem. No one could, obviously. I mean, so we found out neither can Centerpoint Energy. I couldn't fix the problem. Like I couldn't make the girls better to sleep. You know, I can next time because I'm going to buy a window unit. But like all of those things, it took a toll on your brain. Like it took a toll on everything. So it was crazy. It was crazy.
I know from my end watching it, I know a lot of people outside of the area felt kind of helpless too, because it's not like you can send stuff to you and to help you. And, you know, and I was trying to cover what I could for anything with our work. But I also couldn't I couldn't even hear your voice. Like Erin and I tried to talk a couple times during this, and it was like 1 word out of 5 words that I could get from her, and she couldn't even talk to her mom, you know? So anyway, it's a crazy experience that you just went through, and I'm just glad you guys are all fine. And I hope that everyone else down there in Houston is doing a lot better. And I know that you and I have had a long conversation, and this is where I think we should go next, is how your business just kept on going during this time.
You know, there's so many things to be grateful for. And like I said, like we're happy, we're healthy, everything. But, you know, once again, it was just such a reminder to me of how grateful I am for my business. And, you know, people can call it what it is, MLM, people can call it direct sales. To me, it's my career. Like, it is my job. It is how my family puts food on the table, along with my husband's job. So for me, it was like a real reminder, awakening of like, thank God for this business, because, you know, it ran with the help of you and other amazing friends and leaders, but it also just runs because of the years and the time that we've put into it. You know, I mean, other people, I mean, I had this conversation with our girls many times, like, you know, CVS is closed down. Like, those workers are not making money. You know, our favorite pizza place was closed down for almost 2 weeks. He didn't make a dime, you know, and it breaks your heart. And it also was just such a like reminder to me of like how blessed we are, you know, to be in this business. It's a crazy business, especially right now.
It's the wild, wild west right now.
Wild west around here. But yeah, it was, you know, and remember, you know, I knew nothing about this world. I didn't want to be a part of this world. You know, fast forward, I mean, what has it been, 10 years now?
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, Jesus, that I have this career. And I think that's the key. You know?
Well, and it's and I'm so grateful that you did choose this business, Erin, and you are a superstar leader in our industry, well known in our entire industry. And I'm so proud to work with you and grateful. But you know, I will say this has been a really big, sore and sour point in my life. And that is the whole MLM controversial stuff, everything around, you know, MLMs are bad. People say MLMs are bad, you know, and don't get in one of those pyramids. And, you know, I look at comments like that as uneducation. And 27 years ago, when I started in direct sales, I started to make a little extra shoe money at home. We had two little girls, one little baby. Yeah, one little baby. And I had worked in my career before. I was in real estate. I decided to stay home when we had our second child because I wanted to be home with our children and be there for them. But yet once I was there for a while, I still felt the desire to make an extra income to help with the family bills, you know, or just get those extra fun goodies like shoes that I felt guilty buying when I wasn't bringing any money in. And so that's how I sort of accidentally found the world of direct sales and MLM. And at the time, I knew nothing of the controversial, you know, hopefully it's not an MLM, you know, one of those things. And I've heard that so much and battled it in my brain and in my heart for all these years since then, because this has been the most incredible career ride of my life. I mean, I started for fun and for a little extra money. I got into it. I started helping other people make money. That felt amazing. And then my income kept increasing, and their income, my team's income. It was like the most incredible thing. And women would come to me and say, Lisa, I am so grateful for this extra $500 a month that I am able to put my kids in volleyball or in soccer or in dance, where before I didn't have that. And I don't have to even leave my house to do it. And so all those things started rolling in and compounding in this most positive, beautiful way that I was oblivious to the negative in the beginning. Yeah. I wish I was now. I wish I still lived in that zone. But I don't, you know, now I see it and I hear it, and I I just want to defend it. But of course, we know if you defend something, that puts you, in a bad place. But I can speak to it as far as what it has done for our life and what it has done for people that we work with, their lives, and how incredibly impactful and helpful it has made such a difference in so many people's lives. And so I am one of the biggest fans of direct sales and MLM. And I think people that talk bad about it don't understand it. And, that's where my frustration is. And can everybody do well at it? No. Can everybody be the CEO of a company? Heck no. They can't. And so is there a small percentage that end up making the great big amounts of money? Yes, there is. Just like there's a small percentage of people that are the CEOs of companies. But this, to me, this example of you, Erin, what you've built, and then you get in a situation where you're taken offline, you're taken away from your customers. You can't even call anybody, at this time. And yet your business not only survived, but thrived. And so that is the type of stuff that I want the world to know, is that we have something, a gift we can give people, home-based mamas, people that are in situations they can't help. They can make extra money, have fun with it, and, and still have all the other things going on in their life.
Yeah. I think you are so right on all those, everything. And I think the biggest part about it is the uneducated, and I was one of them. And, thankfully I saw you thriving and growing and being so super successful. I just didn't know.
Hey there, darlings. We wanted to take a quick moment to talk to you about something super exciting.
That is right, Lisa. And if you're inspired by any of our conversations, but you still feel like you're stuck in place, trapped in guilt and in self-doubt, and in the feeling that you are not enough, but you are still yearning for more time, more self-confidence, and more fulfillment in your life, this is just exactly for you.
We would like to introduce to you our transformative course, Get Unstuck in 10 Days, in which you'll gain practical steps and knowledge to break through those barriers holding you back and start living the life you truly deserve.
Absolutely, Lisa. Whether you're looking to switch it up, switch your mindset, kick those bad habits to the curb, or set meaningful goals aligned with your values, this course will open new doors just for you.
Plus, by enrolling in Get Unstuck in 10 Days, you'll not only get access to valuable lessons and resources, but also join a supportive community of like-minded individuals on a journey to personal growth and empowerment.
So what are you waiting for? Head over to our website at idecide.io and enroll in Get Unstuck in 10 Days today. Let's make those positive changes together.
And don't forget, darlings, stay tuned for more insightful conversations right here on the I Decide Darlings podcast. Thanks for listening.
And I think knowledge is power in anything that we do.
100%.
But I think that, throughout this whole journey, it's been so crazy to me because, my Tony, he's in sales, he is the vice president of a sales organization that he has a team of people that he works with to get his products and his services out to the oil and gas industry. We are no different. He and I joke because I'm like, mine's just more fun, and
yeah,
and mine, we make of it what you make of it, and I think that's where people miss the concept of people sell, and this is a problem, I think, but people sell this like, it's so easy, get in, yes, make millions of dollars. Like, if I can do this, you can do this. Like you said, like not everybody's a CEO, and I think that that's where people try and like compare it. And it's frustrating because like you said, like this has been such a gift to, I know, my family, and a gift that we keep paying forward, to other families that, not everybody wants to be the CEO like us, but yeah, people want that $500 to help pay for volleyball.
Exactly.
And it is sad because, obviously we've seen some changes happen in the industry lately and seen lots of friends, their business model has changed. And guess what? That's happened everywhere in the real world, too, outside of our little bubble. But to me, it's like heartbreaking because they're us, they're not losing like some of them, yes, but like these are families that are losing their jobs. I hope that they find another home somewhere else because it is such a gift and blessing. But yeah, I mean, we have moments in life that I think teach us, what to be grateful for. And it has been the wild, wild west lately. And at the same time, it's given me like that new re-energized spirit for, oh, I'm not done. Like our company is solid. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not anywhere near done with you and with others that still have a lot to do, And so when things like this happen, hopefully not anytime soon, we're preparing for stability.
Well, and I think adapting to the changes is important in anything that you're ever doing. I mean, I know lots of big companies have massive layoffs right now. And in our industry, I mean, right now, when she says, when we say the wild, wild west and how weird it is and how much things are changing, it is definitely a different sort of atmosphere than I've ever seen since I've been in the direct sales industry. And what that means for us is that there's changes that we're going to have to adapt to as far as some companies are going to affiliate models where they're knocking out all their builders, which is absolutely, in my opinion, the wrong way to go. But it's happening. And like Erin said, our hearts are out there for those that are in companies like that. But if you stay the course, I believe in this industry, we will rebuild and we will continue on. MLM has been a part of our existence for, I don't even know how many years, 80 years now, something crazy like that. And there's many billion dollar companies out there that are thriving. I think that that for us and for the most people, they don't even see that there's some changes going on in the industry. What they see and what our job is, and I'm talking to the direct sellers out there right now, what our job is to solve a problem, with your product. If you have a product that you stand behind and you love, and you're with a company you love, then don't worry about the industry changes. Learn about them, educate yourself on the changes as they change, adapt your business to them. But your job is to solve a problem for your person with your product. And for Erin and I, that is helping people with their health and wellness. It's helping people feel better from the inside out. It's helping them have better skin, hair, nails, and things like that. That's what we do. And so if we can keep the course and stay strong, and as a believer of the industry, and the future of it is bright. I know that and I believe it. But just like the rest of the world right now with the economy, it just feels crazy, and the election year and everything, it's just all feels a little bit crazy. But this is how we can kind of maybe make this more simple or dumb it down. I hate to use that term because
I'm always good with that.
But I mean, we were talking about the hurricane and what Erin just went through. And, the bottom line is what she does is it's simply serving other people and helping other people either learn to make money from home, A, or B, helping them solve a problem with their health and wellness. That's what we do. And if people in our industry could keep those lines drawn clear about what you actually do and how you make your money, then the rest of the bull crap that's going on around us can just go on, and you keep your focus. And, and that is what I think is the answer to these crazy times is keep your focus, be diligent in what your job is, serving other people and loving other people and being kind about it, and not putting your nasty comments out there about all the other crazy stuff going on, and just stay focused forward.
Yeah. It goes back to the whole, like, people are really bold when they're behind a computer.
Yeah.
Like they can say anything they want to because we're not standing in front of each other. So yeah. And I think, on a kind of a funny, not funny note, like you and I are good at like keeping our head up and like living in the, living with the rainbows and the butterflies. And, I mean, and again, where we're at, like with leadership, we're constantly, putting fires out and hearing things. But I think the difference is that we're just like, keep moving, eyes down, stay in your lane, and I think that, the people that are rocking the boat are just trying to rock the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, okay, you go, boo, but like it's like the whole not letting it knock our course, and I think that's where it has been crazy, but the whole world is crazy. And guess what? When we wanted to make extra money for like the shoes in the beginning, the world has changed. Like inflation is insane. Like I don't know a lot of families that could survive without two incomes, because the cost of just living these days is so much higher. So, it goes back to that circle of like educating people on, like I always say, why wouldn't you do something like this? Not why wouldn't you do something like this? And again, hurricane, it was such just a good reminder for me in the midst of chaos. And guess what? People leave businesses all the time. Like that is not anything new. It's not anything even for like our industry. Like,
no,
I mean, I have a laundry list of places that I've worked, mean, it's really not that big of a deal, but I think, people make it one. And I don't know. I just feel like it's the way it's a career, and I career for anyone, some-timers, part-timers, and full-timers.
That's right.
And, having gone through this hurricane apocalypse was, a good, timely reminder for me to be grateful, for this business, to be educated in this industry. Even more reason to live in the clouds, because I've got work to do. We've got work to do. Like, I'm not done solving people's problems. I talked to somebody yesterday, super cool, by the way. She and her husband live out in Florida, and we were talking, and, she's interested in getting into the business because she loves, the collagen and living clean. And, I think the world has changed and people are more open and aware to what we're putting in and on our body. And we were talking about it, and totally random story, but we were talking about it, and I was telling her everything, and she's like, well, tell me about, your business and you. And I'm like, and it hit me right then, having gone through all of this with the hurricane. I said, my business is great, phenomenal, amazing, but my heart is in serving others to have an amazing business. And so, I don't really want to, I could tell you all about my personal business, but my heart is helping others to do this, so it was like a full circle moment of, we're happy, we're healthy, and, the world needs to chill out.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh my God. We have a problem.
No, we don't. Houston, actually, the hurricane from Houston and Erin and you and what you went through clarified, I think, and brought light to some incredible things that you and I have known for a long time, and other people that have really just kind of dug their feet in on this industry and realize, and we just want others to know. That there are things you can do if you lose your job, if if you're in the middle of a crazy time, that you can still do to make money from home. And the industry is actually a beautiful place. And so if you've heard otherwise, I'd love to educate you better and answer any type of questions that you might have. And you can reach out to Erin and I anytime, because we really feel as if we have a beautiful thing that we've been given. And thank you, Houston.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not ready to say thank you yet, because
I know I didn't have to live through it. I was sitting up here in the air conditioning.
Yeah, no, let's just say let's be thankful that if here's the thing, it's only the beginning of hurricane season, and that was a Cat 1. So like, I'll thank Houston at the end of the season. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe. And yeah, but yeah, I agree. That's the thing. And I feel like, it's a crazy world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And however we can like take the reins and get some control of it. Like I said, I did not have control of like the lights and this and that for anybody who's type A red personality drives crazy. But yeah, I took control of our financial situation. Thank goodness, 10 years ago with you. And, one last thing I want to touch on is you taught me something years ago that has served me so well in terms of this business and getting into it, and people leave, people come, things change. I mean, it's the real world. But, you taught me years ago, bless and release. When somebody changes, and again, like we said, sometimes this business isn't for everyone because it's a business and people think like, oh, I'll walk in, I'll make all this money, it's great. Some, when they come in, they find out like, oh, I actually have to work, like, you taught me years ago, like bless and release, and I think that's such a good analogy and just life lesson for life. I can't tell you how many times I've used it, not only in this business, but just in life, like bless them, release them. For all of you guys who have left and will leave and come back and don't come back and circle back around, it's like a bless and release into like, do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I wish that everyone felt that way, that you taught me, that good on you, spread your wings and fly, my friend.
Yes, we have to love everybody where they are. And, and people forget that, I think, because they take things so personal. I think they think that in this industry, it's also personal when it's actually, it's not, it's not for everybody. But neither is our other businesses. Like I can't imagine sitting behind a desk all day, and that's not for me. But this may not be for you. But if it is, you have to just understand that it does take work what we do, but it's fun. It's fun work because you're serving and helping others, and you're doing it around your own schedule, which is why we love it the most. I think is our time freedom. So
I mean, we don't even have time to talk about. We do, but I mean, like both of our families, all of the benefits and the memories and the perks, that come. I mean, we have traveled so many places as a family that have been gifted to us by this industry, by our company. Yeah. Like, I mean, I can't even tell you how many great things I have in my closet, but, but I think that's why I joke and say like, mine's so much more fun than his. But, it's those things that come along with it, that it's the gratitude in this business that people are like, you work so hard, let's send you to Mexico. Like, I mean, I don't know a lot of people or companies that do that. So yeah, I mean, that's the whole laundry list of other things. Every time I pull out my Louis Vuitton, I'm like, I know.
I know all the goodies, all the trips, all the fun, the fun, the community. I mean, honestly, some people just join our teams for the community, just to have a group of like-minded people working towards the same project and the same goal. And that feels really good too. I know community is number one in helping people live longer too, is having the right people around them. And so I know we have both really enjoyed that too. But anyway, Erin, I just want to say thank you for sharing your Houston story, because it really does mean a lot. And it really tied in so beautifully with some of the words that we've wanted to share about this beautiful industry that we're in, and to let go of the controversial words and thoughts, and to embrace the idea and the fact that we can help a lot of people make extra money when they need it. And so this Houston story was just so perfect. So thank you, Erin, for sharing.
Well, as always, so grateful for just you and our business and this podcast. And
yay!
So excited to be back. We have lots of things in store for you from the Darlings, because we are just planning ahead and have so many exciting things. We have lots of exciting guests coming on too. We're going to come to you and share some scoop and some behind the scenes too on here and things just from Lisa and I every once in a while. But yeah, it's good to be back. So on that note, thank you for joining the I Decide Darlings podcast. Hey, if you know anybody who's in Houston, not in Houston, or heard about the hurricane, share this with them. And I am serious that I'm going to come out with like my how to be prepared for stuff like this. Because listen, this mama was not prepared. And I've got like a laundry list of fun things too. So be on the watch out for that too. But as always, it's so great to be back. And thank you for joining the I Decide Darlings podcast.
You've been listening to the I Decide Darlings podcast. If this podcast touched your heart, please share it with your friends and family right after you subscribe yourself.
Don't forget to head over to iDecideBook.com and grab a copy of our favorite book and daily journal. As always, thank you for being here, and we can't wait for you to hear our next episode.